Peace, peace. Welcome to the campaign trail. A little late, but better late than never. Y'all see the topic. Brittany Renner. I wasn't really up on who Brittany Renner is or was, but um, I'm finding out now. And apparently, I think she got a child or had a child by a pro sports player that's younger than her. Is that her? If y'all know, let me know. I think she got a child by a sports person, Brittany Renner, claiming to practice Islam or claiming to be a Muslim now. Well, you a Muslim now? No more strip club or no more thotting. Whatever she was known for, because I ain't really know. I'm not knowing. I think she's known for having a child by a young freshman or a young rookie. I don't know if it's a football player or a basketball player. If y'all know, let me know. I didn't really have time to study and look into it and research it. I just seen old pics, and I remember she was on a interview with Charleston White, drunk and cussing at him and getting on his lap and trying to kiss on him and stuff like that. So I remember seeing that. So something happened recently, apparently, that got her studying or leaning towards or trying to practice or claim Islam now, that she a Muslim now. No more hope gang. So if y'all heard about this, let me know. I just kind of really saw it. I saw like little shorts of it for the last couple of days, but I didn't really pay no attention. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was somebody that I knew. I didn't even know it was an old girl, because if you're familiar with just seeing they cheeks, you don't even know who they are if you forced to just look at their face. So yeah, I didn't know who that was. So somebody said it, and they showed the side by side before and after picture. Oh, home girl. Oh, okay. I recognize the cheeks. And then I put the two and two together. Oh, she got a child by a younger, like, pro athlete. So and she was getting dragged for that real bad and on social media, because she had took advantage, or they say she took advantage of some young, dumb, full of such and such rookie. And now he paying like Kanye for the next 18 years. But I want to know, do y'all know anything about this story? What allegedly caused her to lean towards being a Muslim or claiming Islam or practicing Islam? Is this for a new man? Is this for the old man? Is for her child's father? Like, or she doing it just on her own? Why, do y'all got any info on that, intel on that? Because of course I'm interested. This is just an opinion section. It's just an opinion episode at this point, because I really don't have no facts, no details. Mr. Brock, peace. What's up with you? Are you familiar with this Brittany Renner story? This Brittany Renner, I think, was she like a dancer or an internet IG model or something like that? And she like older, like in her 30s or something, but then she got with a young rookie. She got with a young rookie pro athlete and had a child with him. And I don't think they together no more or something. I don't know. The internet was saying that she took advantage of him, on some cougar time. Like she put it on him real tough, love bombed him or lust bombed him or box bombed him. But yeah. So she's saying that she's Muslim now. She's practicing to be a Muslim, or she's claiming to be a Muslim. So I seen just the little same YouTube short and IG short that everybody else seen. She got, I guess, a whole bunch of her old clothes, her old thought clothes that maybe she ain't wearing no more. She about to throw away or give to the Goodwill or something. Laid out all on the floor in the living room, and she covered up from head to toe with like a hijab or some So that's not Nation of Islam. That's not the suit and the bow tie Muslim. We don't, our women don't wear that. Um, DC, I asked D Fair, common sense, salute. DC in the building. Are you familiar with this Brittany Renner story, or who Brittany Renner is? Like a old or former IG model or something like that, internet like model or so-called celebrities, influencer. They got a child by some young celebrity, young NFL player or young NBA. I don't know if he's NBA or NFL. Um, but of course, since I'm a Muslim and she's an influencer and she came on, especially as a woman, a black woman that's claiming to be Muslim or that's claiming to have converted, then of course that's my lane, that's my subject. So even though I don't know a whole lot about it, I'm definitely that's what I'm on here right now, because I don't know if she's mocking. I don't know if this is just a little wave, a little trend, or whatever dude. Is it a dude that she's dealing with right now that's influencing her? Is she doing it following the dude, or is she doing it on her own? Because from my experience, most women, especially if you was in them streets like that, and you still feel like you hot or you light skinned, or you're not gonna do that on your own. It's a man, it's a male, you're gonna do that. You're gonna be influenced by a male. You're doing it, under the influence of a male. So I just wanted to know more about that. It's not saying there's nothing wrong if you're doing it from a male's influence. That's what a male is supposed to do. A male's supposed to influence you to put your clothes on, keep your clothes on in the public, especially instead of taking them off, instead of acting like they promoting making it rain and you sitting on strange dudes' laps, intoxicated or inebriated or whatever, So that's definitely a plus. I just want to know more about the story, because I definitely want to use that as a example or a blueprint and see what would inspire somebody with her history or background or present looks or condition or whatever to publicly declare that and publicly show, like, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but publicly show that that's what she's doing and that's what she's leaning towards. And she had contractual obligations with other, maybe Fashion Over, other places or businesses that want her to show her body, want her to model bikinis or something. So I don't know if she's gonna do that or not, but it's an interesting story. So I definitely want to stay on top of this from now on. The Hood Smoker Podcast. What up, D-Town, Detroit? Derek Mallory, salute. Twin Cities in the building. She ain't fooling nobody. She's a poser. How do we know? Like, Malcolm X used to be Detroit Red. I'm not saying she is or she ain't, but how would we know? So if Malcolm X was known by all his homies and all the females that he used to, slide, he used to flip, sell, or whatever he was doing, they probably said the same thing about Detroit Red, right? He's posing. He ain't no real whatever. But, once time went by and we saw what he was actually about, then now we see him as one of the greatest black leaders that ever lived. But he used to be Detroit Red. He used to be a pimp, right? Which is worse than what Brittany Renner was, right? So I just want to follow that story because that's the power, the potential power and positive influence of Islam. That's what it did for my life and people like Malcolm X and so many people in the penitentiary, so many females that was harlots and Jezebels and thoughts. The only thing that I know for sure that actually reformed us was Islam. So I don't know, like I said, who's influencing her to study that and to practice that and even go public and change, like she's declaring that that's what she's doing now. So we'll see. Mr. Brock, if she has truly accepted Islam, I promote her change. She has money now, so I think her want to live better may be authentic. I mean, we'll see. Even if it's posing, it's still better. It's a better character than a thought. You know what I'm saying? Even if she's faking, even if she's posing, I like this character much better, infinitely better than whatever her previous characters was. I like this public image infinitely better, even if you faking. Fake this. Yeah, play these characters. It's like an actor, Denzel or whatever. If he agreed to never play a LGBT role, or if he never agreed to never play a drug dealer or whatever, then that's great for him. He knows his influence, and he knows even if he playing a certain role, it's going to still affect and infect the minds of people, especially youth. So if she's just playing a role, I love that role. Keep playing those roles, is what I'm saying. Fitzroy Muhammad, as Bob Marley would say, time will tell, not social media. Well, social media is time. Social media is real. People be saying social media is not a real place. Social media is absolutely a real place. Social media is absolutely a demonstration or a display or indicator of what we really think, how we really act. If you popping your cheeks for social media, then you're a cheek popper in real life. Whatever we see you doing on social media, you're probably really doing that in real life, except, balling. A lot of people act like they balling on social media, and we know that's not true. But I'm talking about your character. If you acting like you balling and you're not, that means you're a faker. You're a liar. You know what I'm saying? So, Michael Hawkins, salute. Mr. Fuentes, salute. The autobiography of Malcolm X changed my life and way of thinking. As D Fair. That's what I'm saying. So where's the women Malcolms, right? There's women Malcolm X's. There's women that have done the same thing as Malcolm. Do we not give them a break? Do we not give them a benefit of the doubt? Are they guilty until proven innocent? Like how we supposed to judge that? So Brittany Renner is now claiming to be a Muslim. I just want to hear her backstory, or maybe y'all have heard her story or reason why she's practicing or claiming Islam now and kept covering herself up. We know she's a mother, right? We know she has a child by if I'm not mistaken, because I know it's another one. What's Drea Michelle is also doing. I mean, also just had a child. So I get them two kind of confused. So does Brittany Renner got a child with a younger pro athlete, a pro athlete that's like 10 years younger than her? Or is that Drea Michelle, or is that both of them? Because they both kind of look alike, and I might be getting them confused. But Brittany Renner was just doing an interview with a few months ago with Charleston White, and she was drunk and screaming and throwing drinks and sitting on his lap, and she was all over the place. Reese 913, is there a difference between Islam and the NOI? No, the NOI means Nation of Islam. No, so Islam is provable, definite principles, laws, rules, principles. Islam is just an Arabic word that means submission. So it's the nation of submission, submission to God, submission to truth, to provable truth. And through submission to truth or to God, that's the path of peace. So Islam means submission, and it also means way of peace. So nation of submission to God or submission to truth, nation of path of peace. That's what Islam means. It's just an Arabic word. So if we saying it in English, we just saying a nation of submission to God or nation of submission to truth. So Christians are supposed to be Muslims, Jews, Hebrews, everybody that claims that they submitting to God and submitting to truth are considered Muslims, are considered practicing Islam. So that means something. That's a word that has a meaning that means something. So if we arguing and you say, I say, what's your name? And you say, no, it's como te llama. No, it's what's your name? No, it's como te llamo, como se llamas. Como te llamo? You know, what's your name? Like, so you arguing about the same thing. So that's what we do with religious titles. Nah, I ain't no Muslim. I'm a Christian. You're saying the exact same thing. I ain't no Christian. I'm a Hebrew or Jew, it's the exact same God, just in a different language. Exact same prophets, exact same stories, just in a different language. One is Hebrew, one is Aramaic, one is might be another language. So that's exactly what it is. Woke Yosef, do Muslims worship the cobblestone? No, no. I mean, that's a good question, but absolutely not. Muslims worship God. They worship the one God, the same God that Jews claim to worship, the same God that Christians claim to worship. So there's rituals. There's certain rituals called the pilgrimage that Muslims go on. Just like the way that Muslims pray, prostrating and bending down and going through certain motions, those are just rituals. Those are just practices that symbolize something. They have meaning. They mean something. They represent certain realities. So it ain't no cobblestone. I think I'm guessing you talking about the black stone, capstone in the corner of the Kaaba in Mecca, where you see all of the Muslims going around this black box house 7 times, and in the corner of that building is like a little silver little case with a little black stone in it that everybody goes and kisses that little stone. No, that's all symbolic. Nobody prays to a stone. Nobody worships a stone. All that's symbolic. Just like when you bow down and get on your face and you do this and you do that. All that just is symbolic. It symbolizes the real action, like going around the Kaaba 7 times, or that black house. That black house is called the ancient house. It's called the house of Abraham, or the ancient house. That black house represents the original people of this planet, which is the original human being, which is Allah himself. That original black house. This is the house of God, right? So that black house, Kaaba, represents that. So we all are supposed to find our way back to the ancient original origin or source of our houses. So God don't live in that house. That's just something to keep our minds centered on our origin in the world and our eventual return to wherever we originated from. So it's all just symbolic rituals that are supposed to keep the ultimate goal or the ultimate purpose of your life is supposed to keep that in the front of your mind. That's why we pray 5 times a day. And you're supposed to say certain type of prayers or whatever, but we're not praying to no stones or no rocks. We just use those things. It's like going to church. God don't live in church. Jesus don't live in church, but we go there to remind ourselves in the fellowship, and have each other's company of people that's trying to achieve and accomplish the same thing. But that was a good question. But yeah, no, Muslims don't worship no idols, no stones, no statues, no nothing. Michael Hawkins, peace. Nate the Greatest, peace. Mr. Brock, I'm often judged because of my last name and still the same. The Holy Quran teaches call no one father but your earthly father. My dad is still alive. What are your thoughts? I don't really understand the question. What was the first woman according to Islam? Who was the first woman according to Islam? According to Islam, like the Quran don't say who the first woman was. So it's the same story. The Quran just says to study and follow and believe in the stories of all of the prophets. So in Islam, we taught that we're supposed to believe in the truth of the Torah, which is the Old Testament, or what the Jews was revealed to Moses, revealed to the Jews through Moses, the Old Testament books, which is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's the Torah. That's the Old Testament. And then we taught to believe in the New Testament, even though it's not called the New Testament, but it's called the Injil, or the Gospel, which is the story of Jesus in his time. And we taught to also believe in the prophets, all of the prophets and all of the books that they brought. So we don't make no distinction between none of them. So the Muslims believe in it all, but we know that these books have been tampered with. We know that these books have been corrupted. So we don't just believe in none of it on face value, and we don't take it literally. We know that it has been poisoned and stepped on and put in symbolic language. So now a person has to know how to decode it, right? And translate it so that you won't get trapped and ensnared by the symbolisms that's in it. So, but yeah, we believe in it all. And if you know about the Nation of Islam Muslims, the suit and bow tie Muslims, the Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, Malcolm X kind of Muslims, we study it all. Nobody can handle us in our knowledge of Bible, Quran, Torah, Islam, So we study it all. We're not lazy. We're not religiously lazy. That's why nobody can handle us. Nobody wants to debate with us. None of these major scholars of religion, of all three of the main religions, they don't want no parts of arguing with us, because we know their book better than they do. We practice they faith better than they do. Nation of Islam is more strict and disciplined, more Christian than so-called Christians, more Jewish than so-called Jews, and more Muslim than so-called Muslims. We really live it. We really study it. We really know it. We really challenge everybody to compare what they doing and what they knowing and what they accomplishing with their faith to what we are. So they don't want to run them fades. They don't want none of that work. But the first woman, according to Islam, was, or according to the Quran, is the same first woman that the Bible talk about, or the Torah, the Old Testament. So that would be Eve or Lilith or whatever. But we in the Nation of Islam, we know better. We know that the first man was Allah himself. This form right here is the original God's form. The originator, this was his form, and then he reproduced it. He set up a law of reproduction. And like cells divide, he divided himself into genders. There's two genders. There's only two genders, male and female. So he put half of himself in, the male expression, which is a degree stronger, and then the other half is the female. And that way he ensured and guaranteed continuous companionship, because the whole point of that is he wanted to see another being like himself. And since he was the only creator, he was alone for eons and eons and untold eons of time. So there was no originator but one. So the first Adam really is atom, the first atom of life that sparked in the eve or the evening of triple dark space. So atom, the real atom is God himself, Allah himself, that produced this form for himself. And Eve is the reproduction of himself, or the first act of creation after himself, is he studied himself and found a companion, found a mate, found company and comfort for himself, and called that woman, called that second self. The woman is Allah, or God's second self. So the first man is Allah, the first woman is his second self. So he constantly followed that pattern. So once he produced the Adamite race, the Adamic race, Adam, if you read the Bible, it said, let us make man in our image. You're talking about plural. If the Quran constantly says we, and we did this and we did that. So that's telling you that there was already a nation of original God people here that was already multiplying for trillions of years. The life cycle of life and death and evolution and progress was already ongoing. So we decided, through study and through certain circumstances, that we would bring a different new people out of ourselves and give it form and expression and give it time or dominion to rule, like the Bible say. When he made Adam in his image and after his likeness, that means God in the hour of the us already had an image. They already had a likeness that they made Adam and Eve in the image and likeness of. So that's the NOI's theology. It's not some abracadabra spiritual belief. It's, you have to, certain things you have to rely on belief, but the belief got to be based on provable reality. Provable reality. There had to be a beginning, right? There had to be a first man. There had to be, like the Bible says. So many people don't even want to touch on that, though, because it's too scary. Make your head hurt. The very first words in the Bible say, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." That right there that's a whole lifelong lesson. That's a whole subject. That's a whole novel. That's a whole book. In the beginning, if you believe that. So in the beginning, God, whoever God is, meaning the creator or the originator of it all, in the beginning, he created the heavens and the earth. That means once upon a time, there was no heaven. There was no heavens, according to that sentence, according to the very first sentence in your Bible. In the beginning. So it's telling you there was a beginning. So then God could not have been the same yesterday, today, and forever, because there was a beginning. So that's not the same. He can't be the same because there was a beginning. And literally said, the beginning, he had to create the heavens. So if he was always in existence, why wasn't heaven always in existence if that was his environment? If God always existed like we taught he did, and wherever God is, that's heaven, right? Why would he have to create heaven? If he was the same yesterday, today, and forever, then all these things would all always existed because he always existed. There would be no beginning, right? So these are questions that when you become a mature adult, a critical thinker, that you have to start asking yourself. You really should be asking your preacher, but your pastor might get upset with you and say you got a demon or something. Why you asking so many questions? You're not welcome here no more. You messing up my plate. You messing up my collection plate. But that's supposed to be the purpose of a pastor or a preacher or a messenger from God, is for you to be able to get the answer to these most important questions. Why am I giving you my money and you can't answer these questions? Why am I giving you my faithfulness and my attendance and all this, whatever else I'm giving you, and you can't answer these questions? Why is this bald head Muslim dude that's cussing, everybody and always saying, and know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Why is he giving me the answers? And my pastor that I've been paying and laying, for years ain't never gave me these answers. Woke Joseph, Hebrew Israelites, we follow a faith and heritage, not a religion. What's the difference? I mean, this is not a disrespect, right? If you're black, if you're saying that you're Hebrew Israelite and you're black and you're a descendant of 400 years slavery, that prophecy, then do you know who the first person that even brought that up, that even woke us up to that we're the Hebrews, we're the Israelites of the Bible? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That is who is the father of that knowledge. So we fulfill that. But if we calling ourselves Hebrew Israelite, you can't pick and choose what parts that you fulfill. If you're a Hebrew Israelite and you recognize that we are the fulfillment of the 400-year slaves, because we recognize that never happened to no Europeans or nobody else in the last 4,000 or 5,000 years of biblical history. That never happened. There was no people before us that got brought across the sea to be enslaved and afflicted in bondage for 400 years in a strange land, a land that was strange to them and not their own. Nobody ever went through that but us. So if people say, well, the Moors was already here, okay, then that don't apply to them because it wasn't strange. This land wasn't strange to them. They wasn't brought across the sea to be in bondage. If they was put in bondage or conquered like the Native Americans, that don't fulfill this specific description or this specific prophecy. So if we claiming to be Hebrews, okay, if we're that people, then who specifically is the Moses and the Aaron? You can identify the 400-year Hebrew Israelite people. You can identify the Pharaoh and the Egyptians. The most important characters is the God, the Moses, and the Aaron, though, right? So we in the Nation of Islam, we know the God is Master Fard Muhammad, a man that Moses or Elijah Muhammad talked to face, as a man speaks to his friend, and he was on a chariot, which was a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day, which you call a mothership or UFO or Ezekiel's wheel. And the Aaron is Farrakhan. We'll tell you, we can line it up year for year, bar for bar. So anybody that's claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite, you can't say that we're the Israelites, but then you can't say who the Moses and the Aaron is and who the God is. You can't do that and be accurate. But that whole concept was taught and brought to our consciousness by the leader of the Nation of Islam, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's the one that declared us the Hebrew Israelites. So why aren't we with him? Why aren't we with him? Why don't we acknowledge him as the Moses and Farrakhan as the Aaron? So that's with all due respect. That's, I just know the history. And I know the present and I know the future. Prophecy based on what's written. Stanley Maumolua. It's a hustling thing. I grew up with Islamic culture. Our women don't be on Instagram like that. She trying to go hustle those Saudi princes. Her pimp is smart, but Allah Most High ain't going no place. The Quran says if you see somebody and they claim to be a Muslim, that you're not supposed to say you're not a Muslim. So Stanley, if you're a Muslim, then you're violating the Quran by even claiming that she's not a Muslim. That's violating Islam. If somebody said they're a Muslim, then you don't know her. You don't know her actions. She wasn't a Muslim. We can say that she surely wasn't a Muslim, but if she's saying that she is now, then we have to wait. Like the Quran say, wait then. Let's wait and see. Surely I too am of those waiting with you. But for you to jump out there and say she ain't a Muslim, that's violation. Jesus, justice, shalom also. Nate the greatest, all praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Man, love you too. Messiah Shakur, peace to the God. I broke that down 2 months ago. Byron Bull, bro, get out of them phony religions. I mean, I wish you had a video chat. Why is it a phony religion? Do you know the definition of religion? What is the definition of the word religion? So now I'm good. I'm successful in it, right? You watching me because of the so-called phony religion. Phony religion. That means you must be a follower of my phony religion because you're watching me. Byron Bull, whole story of how popes created Islam. Who gave you that story? Are you black, Byron Bull? What's your race or ethnicity? Why wouldn't you believe my story? Why wouldn't you believe the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's story as opposed to whoever story you believe in? You just a believer, right? You just believe in somebody's story, right? But I'm an actual fruit of Islam. I'm actual proof. I'm an actual success story, like the whole nation is. So whoever told you that story, where is their accomplishments of reforming the ex-slave descendants of 400 and something years of a slave master and a whole race of people? Where is their accomplishments in waking us up and reforming us and uniting us, like Elijah Muhammad's? Try the spirits and see if it'll of God or if it's of God. Safi Allah, speak that now, right? I mean, why not, Byron? Are you black, Byron? You don't, because you typing like you might be of some other race, or maybe you just not very articulate or literate. Why Allah did not save Malcolm? Allah did save Malcolm. Allah did save Malcolm. Do you know Malcolm used to be Detroit Red, right? Who brought Malcolm from pimping and being Detroit Red and whatever else sin and degradation that he was doing? Who made him Malcolm X? He didn't make himself Malcolm X. He didn't make himself El Haj Malik El Shabazz. Who made him Malcolm X? Who protected him from the most vicious FBI and CIA and Ku Klux Klan and whatever else that has been destroying our people for the last 400 something years? Who protected him for 11 years straight while he was with his teacher that made him great, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad? Nothing happened to him until he left, until he split and started slandering and talking bad against the man who saved him and made him great. So what do you mean why Allah didn't save him? Allah did save him. Our Allah, maybe your Allah didn't save him. Our Allah absolutely saved him. Are you Muslim? But I ain't gonna spend too much time in the comments but that's good content. I wish you would had the testicles to hop on a live with me. That'd be great. I would love to see what you look like and sound like. We would go viral instantly. We would go viral. Woke Yosef, we don't practice the same shalom. What does that mean? We don't acknowledge any Muslim as the Alpha and Omega. What do you? I mean, that's cool. Like I said, that's getting into feelings now. That's getting into feelings and dogma. I just gave you theology, though. I gave you theology. I gave you actual history. I told you, Woke Yosef, that your belief system came from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, why you chose or y'all choose not to acknowledge that, I don't know. But I'm giving you the facts, the historic facts, right? So if you don't practice Islam or whatever, that means you don't acknowledge what the word Islam means. Islam just means submission to the one true God, to the truth. So if your Hebrew Israelite sect or group doesn't submit to the one true God, then maybe that's why. Safi Ali, ignorance is bliss. Some of you on here don't understand the knowledge, the science of God. Hey. Yeah, I speak English though. I don't speak Arabic. I don't speak Aramaic. I don't speak Hebrew, and most of my people don't. So that's called like speaking in tongues. That's why the Bible says you're not supposed to speak in tongues, especially around people that don't know the language. So even if I did know certain, I do know certain. I know a little bit of Arabic, but I don't speak it because I'm not speaking to people that know Arabic. So I don't need to try to sound exotic or sound foreign or sound like a scholar, a Muslim scholar by speaking Arabic, because Arabic is not Islam, just like Hebrew is not Judaism. The Hebrew language is just the Hebrew language. There's devils in Hebrew language. There's devils that speak Hebrew. There's devils that speak Arabic. There's devils that speak Aramaic. That don't mean nothing. We here to show and prove. Show and prove. That's what we do. The clean upper, the Torah came out before Islam. Absolutely false. You mean the Torah came out before the Quran. The Quran is not Islam. Once again, I said it, y'all must have just came on. If you saying "Como te llamas" and I'm saying, "Oh, what's your name?" No, "Como te llamas." No, what's your name? "Como te llamas." So you actually trying to have an argument about something that's exactly the same thing, and only a fool would engage in that type of argument. You know, I do that. I don't know why y'all. I don't know what y'all know about me. If y'all know about me, y'all know I've been a high-profile soldier in the Nation of Islam for 34 years now. In the music business, you know, in the streets, in religion, whatever, you know. So I know what I'm talking about. So if you just on here with feelings and you just want to be acknowledged for saying a comment that's, you know, controversial, like that's all it is, because it's absolutely false. It's just feelings and false statements. So Byron Bull, no, bro, we the children of Israel. We had names like, you talking about names. I'm not talking about names. I'm talking, that's just like saying it wouldn't no J. His name couldn't have been Jesus because it wasn't no J. Nobody's arguing about that. Okay, whatever. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual point and principle. We're talking about the actual fulfillment of the prophecies in the scriptures that you claim you believe in. We're not talking about was this spelled with this or this word, his name was really this. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual points at hand. I ain't arguing with you. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with arguing. If you disagree, you are arguing. There's nothing wrong with arguing. We just argue respectfully. We argue in the best manner. Argue means that you disagree, that you're presenting your case that disagrees with my case. I'm presenting my case that disagrees with your case. That's called arguing. That's not a bad thing. That's how you get that. Scientists argue. Wise people argue. It's not a bad thing. You don't take it like it's emotion. You and your feelings, or I'm in my feelings. No, we're supposed to argue. The Bible calls it reasoning. Come, let us reason together. That's another word for arguing. Daryl Jackson, they don't understand pre-Quranic Islam. Islam predates Prophet Muhammad, exactly. So you know, but if they just want to argue, then you know it's a way to get educated without making false statements. If it's something that you want to know, just ask the question. I'm here. I'll be making myself available to ask the question. But instead of asking me a question, you're making false statements and you're making false accusations. I'm here for that too. But it might clown you. It might wind up clowning you because you coming off trying to clown me. You know what I'm saying? So I might clown you, and I know I can clown you because I know when you make certain statements that you don't know what you're talking about. I know you didn't do the research. I know you haven't lived this. I just know it. So, you know, I try to be silent and humble and easy about it. But y'all be jumping off the porch looking silly as well. So I try not to hit you upside the head too hard, but I definitely could. But yeah, this is a good subject though. So Brittany Renner is what got this conversation sparked up. So people are saying, nah, she ain't no real Muslim, or nah, they ain't, or y'all ain't no real Muslim. That's a great subject. On that subject, note, any question that you got, ask me a question. Ask me a question. See how good I answer it. I don't got no book. You don't see no Quran. You don't see no prayer rug. You don't see none of that. Test me. Let's test our theory. Let's test our knowledge, our wisdom on these things that we claim that we know so much about. That's what I'm on here for. I wish it was a link. I wish this was, like Instagram, when we can get on a live chat, split screen, and you can just drill me, and then I can drill you. Yeah, I'll be wanting to cuss. Yeah, that's why I'll be stuttering so much. But this is good exercise for me. It's good exercise for me. So I hit the brakes. I hit the little voice breaks. That's why my sentences be so fragmented, and I'll be saying, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Because I definitely be wanting to let some Popeye the Sailor Mouth cuss words out. But the subject, I'm confident enough in my knowledge and wisdom and understanding that I don't need to cuss. I don't need to get emotional. I don't need to get excited. It's all entertainment. And I think it's entertainment to y'all. So I really appreciate ops or people that disagree, or people that got other views and opinions or whatever, especially on this subject. I love this one. I've been studying the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 30 years and have been a student of the scholarship of Dr. Wesley Muhammad for 10 years. Disclaimer, I'm not FOI. Oh, you talking to somebody else. Elijah is a Jesus. El Marie, it is a way to have us join you. Maybe it depends on what video app you're using when you record. Yeah, this is not recording. I mean, this is live. So if you know something, let me know. I got StreamYard, but when I do these lives, I don't really be trying to go through StreamYard, because the StreamYard picture gets smaller, and it just ain't as direct as this. I like to see the comments and all of that. RB, Brittany was a basketball player at Jackson State. She is mixed with black and white. Yeah, didn't she don't she have a child by a young NFL player, a young, was a rookie or something in his first year, or an NBA player or NFL player? So my question is, who is inspiring her? Who's influencing her to do this Islam thing? Somebody suggested that is, she's trying to get next to these Saudi Arabia dude. You know what I'm saying? That may be true. But is that a bad thing? Even if that's true, even that worst case scenario, if she's trying to, cover herself up and be, respectable or whatever, or look respectable or talk respectable, practice some type of, moral discipline, even if it's for the bag, is that a bad thing? We stripping for the bag. You know what I'm saying? We only fans in for the bag. What's wrong with doing this for the bag? So still, even if you think that's a play or a scam, it's a better scam than them other scams. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she's a mother. Yeah, that's a great scam. So yeah, keep running that scam. NBA player, okay. Mm-hmm. But yeah. If y'all don't mind, man, hit the thumbs up for me, hit the like button, man. Share this video if it's relevant. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get somebody else into the conversation, hop in the little comments. It's about Brittany Renner that we just saw a few months ago on Charleston White lap, drunk, cussing him out, throwing drinks on him, twerking, trying to kiss him like she was burnt. She was all the way burnt. But now, maybe she had an epiphany. Maybe she's just running a play, whatever. But now she's claiming Islam. Now she's all covered up. I heard her saying certain language, inshallah, or whatever her walk is and her journey. What inspired that? Maybe she was shamed. You know, if you can't shame a person, you can't change a person. Maybe she felt ashamed, especially being a mother, seeing herself acting out like that once she was sober and her child was there with her, like, you know. But like I said, even if it's a play, even if it's an act, that's the best act. If you're going to be an actor, would you want to act like a prostitute, or would you want to act like a saint? Would you want to act in a, you know, if you straight, if you're a regular dude, would you want to play a, a gay porn role? It's just acting. Would you want to play a gay porn role if you straight? It's just acting. It's not real. You just faking. Or would you want to play the kind of role that she playing? Malcolm X role, a Muslim. You're not really a Muslim, but what's the best role to play if you're gonna have to play a role? RB, anything that lead her to submitting to the Most High, I'm all for it. Exactly. Just like Malcolm X, Denzel Washington, even Spike Lee, all of the people that, even though that they might have had it in their mind that they didn't like Elijah Muhammad or whatever, once they play those roles, then they have to get into those characters and they have to study. You have to study what led to the thinking of a Malcolm X, or what led to the relationship between Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And then you instantly are going to get a newfound respect, a newfound admiration for that organization, for those individuals, for that information. And it's going to change your life for the better. Even if you don't become a quote unquote Muslim, you're going to have respect. You're going to be enlightened. You're going to be informed. You're going to be way wiser, way more educated, way more conscious when you finish playing that role than you ever was before. So it's a win-win-win situation, even if you fake it. Even if you faking, it's a win situation. Shug L, if Brittany Renner is looking to change, she should at least be given an opportunity to do so. Now, Miss Renner has to undergo tests to see how steadfast she is. Exactly. If we're going to give people a chance to same-sex marriage and transition and remove their natural genitals, why wouldn't you give Brittany Renner a chance to do this? This is far less extreme. This is far less unnatural, right? Why would we, you know, we don't say nothing, you know, we so embracive and inclusive and so understanding when it comes to this that unnatural extreme stuff, like damn. But that's what the Bible said about Jesus and the harlot or whatever that was found in adultery. Everybody wanted to stone her ass. Or let he or she without sin cast that first little judgment stone, like y'all do so well. I'll be over here writing in the sand, like my Lord. Like, okay, well, I know what you used to be, but don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold it against you. If I see you actually taking steps publicly, even if you faking, that's the best faking you ever did. Keep it up. Keep faking like that. Byron Bull, that no pork came from the Yahoos, colored Torah, not Islam. You still on that? I guess you're talking to somebody else. 504 Fireman, is this my guy Cam who used to rap with? Yeah, exactly. I am him. He is I, and I am him. Aaron J. Yo, Salam, that the new one that Ace War. Salute Ace War. I just put that up, featuring Big Gip and David Banner. Big Gip from the Goody Mob, produced by Battle Cat. That's another one of them records, one of the earlier ones off our new album. Video I just posted on this channel yesterday. Ace War. Of course, I posted the clean version because I can't post what it really say because it'll go against this. So maybe I'll post a link to my other page that's already demonetized and just put the full dirty version. Is really, you know, the raw version. I ain't gonna call it dirty, but the raw version, saying the real words, because we can say ninja all we want. As soon as we say Akakray or Evil Day, you know what I'm saying, or Weckerpud, then we get shut down. So I didn't want to do that to this page, but I'm gonna post up a link under this one to the raw uncut version, because it really take a lot out of it, because you see what I'm on. So I got to be able to call them what we call each other. You know what I'm saying? If I can say ninja and BBB and thought, then I'm damn gonna say Satan, devil, Eka, like it's cold that you got to even censor yourself like this, but it is what it is. Suge L, the fact that Denzel Washington was fasting every other day and on Monday through Thursday in the role of Malcolm X is huge. He's not been the same man since. He was really transformed. Absolutely. So even if you faking with this subject called Islam is going to improve you. Even if you faking, this is the best thing to be faking with. It's the worst if you got ulterior motives, but even agents, FBI agents, COINTELPRO agents, snitches, stool pigeons, all of plants that used to get planted into the Nation of Islam by the government, by the COINTELPRO, J. Edgar Hoover, they used to get converted. And they be, J. Edgar Hoover and them be hot as fish grease, because the people that they planted would get so overwhelmed and taken over by the righteousness and the truth of it and the innocence of this organization, that they'll break down and say, I was sent here. Such and such sent me here, but I really believe I'm a believer. That's how we got so much wisdom and knowledge about how these enemies get down. Because we converted the plants. We converted the agents. I got my very first album was I think it's my second album in '95 called Who Ride. I say something like that. It finally heard an officer snitch. You know what I'm saying? Officers, agents, if they black, we talking to their nature. If they just been programmed on the surface by the slave master. Once they get here and their nature and their core and the God is being talked to, they break down. You can't act, you know what I'm saying? You can't stay in that role among us, among this. It's going to break you down. I bet they wouldn't say Trey D is not a Muslim. Yeah, they would. They'd say anything behind these little anonymous keyboards. Yeah, they would. R&B, RB, she was on Club Shay Shay a while back. Yeah. But like I said, Malcolm X, we knew him as Detroit Red. Absolutely no good. Absolute loser. It was even some recent little writings or alleged journalists, or I don't know if it's Alex Haley or somebody said that, he was even, on the rainbow side of the game. He wasn't just a pimp and a drug dealer or a drug user. He was also on some rainbow stuff. That's what they say. Whatever he was, it was surely, nothing that we would be proud of or nothing that we would embrace. But after all of that, he became Malcolm X. The greatest leader that you know about, that you're going to claim, Malcolm X is the greatest leader. He was even greater than Elijah. You're going to say everything. But what was he before he was Malcolm X? So whatever we were, just like me, whatever I was before I was Cam Muhammad or Mueed Muhammad, we was all something worse than what we were before we became Muslims. And it was always somebody saying you fake it. There's always going to be somebody saying and some people saying you fake it. That's part of the journey. That's part of the struggle. 504 Fireman, yo, what up, Cam, bro? We need more conscious rappers like you and Cube. Right. Suge Cam has mastered his pig Latin, right? Right. Yeah, I'm saying. Fifth Element hip hop. Yo, but for real, Cam, that black positivity, is a slap, a shoot, salute. That's another Battle Cat song, off the Me and Battle Cat album called Positivity, featuring Corrupt and Chill from Compton Most Wanted. That's Legend in My Section. Pardon me. Legend in My Section is featuring Corrupt and Chill, but Positivity is featuring YN, my homegirl YN Vaughn, and R&B legend Howard Johnson. Yeah, that's definitely a banger. Byron Bull, them such and such behind Ken Drake beef. Yeah, I got a song called Culture Vultures. It's actually about DJ Vlad. Y'all should check that out too. So for a washed up little bitter rapper or whatever, that I sure do got some current hits that's relevant, that's getting at these real enemies, that's getting at these real situations. But you ain't heard about them. It's not because they whack. Why haven't you heard about them? Because the people that that control cancel culture and control media, control exposure, controlling you not hearing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got to be extra careful about my pig Latin and what I say on here, because I'm sure I already said a lot of stuff that triggered the so-called algorithm that they're not going to, that they don't necessarily want to push this into the main news feeds or whatever. So I just got to be on here consistent and talk my talk every day. I will not get tired. I never will get tired of keeping us company and having real conversation. I love it when people disagree with me. I love it when people challenge me. I love that. That's the best content. You will never be able to take me off my square. You'll never be able to shut my mouth. I love it. You'll never make me run and hide, or what I'm saying. That's a challenge. I love that. Cho boy, is obviously not a bad thing. People change their lives, and it's that simple. I know Muslims that have caught. Yeah. We was everything before we was this. That's the saying. Islam comes after all else fails. After all else fails, try Islam. That's the only thing we don't try. We want to do it our way. We want to have it our way. Our body, our choice. And it's not until we start having to suffer and lay down in the bed of the consequences of our choices, then we ready to submit. Then we ready to try Islam. And Islam is there as the greatest solution. And we be like, man, I should have did this a long time ago. Well, better late than never. But if you ain't got there yet, if you ain't experienced that, then you're gonna be on the sidelines with the pom-pom saying what they saying. You ain't real, and Islam ain't this, and this ain't that. Like, all right. The greatest people in the greatest leaders of America was Muslims. The greatest black leaders, especially Muslims. What greater black leader have you had of the descendants of slaves in America that wasn't Muslim? There's your answer right there. What greater organization of black people do you have that wasn't Muslim? There's your answer right there. So whatever y'all feelings are is just y'all feelings. I got the actual facts. Officer Detective Vlad for sure. Sugar one, there's a such thing as radio whiteout in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I've been a victim of it my whole career. Yeah, exactly. 504 fireman. That's what if you exposing the enemy, then why would the enemy support you? Why would the enemy promote you when you exposing them? You taking their power and their influence. So I expect not to be promoted. That's why when God provides these type of little outlets and these platforms, I take advantage of them until I can't take advantage of them no more, until they shut me off. But then you won't be able to say you never heard. Okay, well, my job just to deliver the message. Cam is an uncle to the family, doesn't want. Yeah, Cam is an uncle to family doesn't want around, but always calls in emergencies. Yeah, because they know he the one to fix it. Life is funny like that. Yeah, that's how you know you closer to God, right? We in the Nation of Islam, we don't believe that God is some fairy tale ghost spirit, invisible, formless entity that nobody can see until they die. we know that God is a human being. God is the human being. God is the original human species. Allah is the original human being. All righteous people are the body of Allah, but the Most High, the head of Allah, is the original human being, right? And the closer that we get, as if we original people, the closer that we get to returning to Allah, returning to God. And when I say returning to God, not dying, when you return, return to God, like, returning to God while you're alive. The closer you get and I get to returning to being Allah, to being the righteous gods that we were in the beginning, the more people don't call you until they're in trouble. They treat you like they treat God. We don't call God until we get in trouble. But that's the first person we cry to or scream to. First person we trying to call when we get in trouble. You on your way to Dubai, you went on your way to, on a plane somewhere to do some sin and some fornication. Let that plane hit some turbulence, or let that plane wing look like it starts smoking or something. They said, we're going to have to make an emergency landing. You're going to be calling on God. You're not going to be calling on your homeboys. You're not going to call on the these females that you're on your way to try to toss. Then you're going to call on God. Then as soon as he brings you safely to the land, you forget about him. You ain't calling on him no more until you get in trouble again. So those of us that's really on the God page or God path, we know that's how our people going to handle us. Ain't nobody going to call me. My rap peers, all these rap peers of mine that God and bless me. That's all the time they call me when they need something very serious that nobody else is willing or able to do for them, to help them with. They got my number on speed dial when they in trouble. But when they partying, when they having it their way, when they making $500,000 a day, when they making millions, don't none of them know my number. Don't none of them know my number. They know I do exactly the same thing that they do. They know that I have done stuff for them in the same field that has helped their image, helped their life, helped their pockets. They don't call me. They don't call me for that. Just like we don't call God when we doing good. We don't call God till we in trouble. So I feel good about it. Oh, I must be close to God, or I must be returning to being a God, because these niggas don't call me until they in trouble, like we do God. So it's all about how you understand it. I don't have to be bitter. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying my heaven in the meantime. I got heaven. If I'm God, then I better be doing something in the meantime. I got a life. I got a garden in the meantime. I'm not waiting on you to call me. I got a whole heaven over here. I got a whole life, that I'll be wanting to share. You know what I'm saying? I'll be wanting to give the blueprints and the secrets or whatever of how to accomplish it. But you think money is what you're supposed to accomplish. You think money is going to give it to you. I know for sure money ain't going to give it to you. I know for sure money can't buy this. You know what I'm saying? But you got to bump your head and learn it the hard way. And if you survive, if you live long enough to see that what I'm saying was accurate, then you'll submit. You'll submit. Mahdi Ahmad, God is the creator of the human being, no beginning, no end. Humans were created and have a beginning and end. This is according to the Quran, words of Allah. I would love to get. Are you willing to get on we can actually do this tonight, like right now. Mahdi Ahmad, are you willing to get on the StreamYard with me? Get on the StreamYard with me and let's kind of debate. Let's let the people see us debate that subject right there. Right? Because you know what we often debate about. You willing to do that, Mahdi Ahmad, right now? Respectfully, respectfully. I'm saying Allah is the original human being. You saying that he's not. Are you willing to debate that with me right now? and let all these people see it? Knock to your mind. I'm waiting for your comment, waiting for your response. Let me pin that. Let me pin this first. I got to do this. Debate is based on Quran or I can't see what you said or debate it based on it. It don't even matter. Debate it based on what the people understand. We speak in the people's language. It's either a yes or no question. Because if the people don't know the Quran or the people don't know the NOI, then we just be having a pissing contest or something. So I want the people to witness something. So I don't even like if somebody asked me to debate or something, and I told you specifically what the subject was. It's no trick questions. It's no like I need to find out exactly what I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever you want to talk about, however you want to frame it, I'm ready. Because if it's the Quran, then case closed. It's not case closed. The people don't know the Quran. Do you want to teach the people or not? I'm inviting you or challenging you to let's teach the people the Quran based on this argument. You want to do that or not? Yes or no? Look, if it's based on NOI theology, then it's circular reasoning. How do the people know that? How do the people know that? See, this is what I mean. This is cowardice, bro. Like I just got to call it what it is. This is cowardice. You challenge me to anything. I'm not gonna give no conditions. I'm gonna run the fade. I'm gonna go right. Okay, let's line it up. Yeah, let the people see that. Whatever you want to talk about, however way you want to talk about it. I'm not gonna put no conditions in it. Well, if it's this and if it's this, then it's circular. Like you watching me right now. You're here watching me right now. You obviously respect something about my Islam, right? Why not let the people see that you have a superior understanding? You have a superior Islam than me. Come on, man, let's run it. Let's run it, Mahdi Ahmad. Don't get no excuses. I ain't giving no excuses. And I don't got no book. I don't even know what that means. You said circular reasoning is a logical fallacy. I don't even know that language. Talk to me like I'm a kindergartner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what logical fallacies, ad hominems, straw mans. I don't know none of that. Just talk to me regular. I don't want to do it. You said I ain't ducking. You haven't accepted. That's called ducking. What do you mean you ain't ducking? You didn't say yeah, let's go. It's already what 9, 8. It's 8 o'clock, man. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Let's hurry up and do this right quick. It might take 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Y'all want to see this? Y'all that's watching, hit the thumbs up if you want to see me and Ahmad go at it right quick for about 15 minutes on this subject. This is the phase we need to see. This is the phase we need to run, and it's with respect. It's with love and respect. Safi Ali, your third eye is a powerful tool. If you don't, your third eye is a powerful tool. If you don't use it, if you don't use it right, will anyone obtain the knowledge they seek? Right. Mr. Fuente, he ain't ducking. He's being the bigger man. Right. Change your consciousness. Only debate with your equals. Everyone else you should teach. Nah, I mean that whoever said that. I forgot what the black brother scholar that said that. I ain't even arrogant like that. I ain't no teacher. I'm a student. I'm a little bald head LA dude that don't really know nothing. I'm just down to run the verbal, run the intellectual phase. That's all. I ain't no so-called scholar or whatever. I'm just a guy that critically thinks. I'm just a descendant of slaves that knows how to think and knows how to express my thoughts verbally. That's all I am. That's all I claim to be. So you should stomp all over me. You should stomp the yard with me. That's what I want to see. Wouldn't that's come on, man. Let's debate. That's what I was asking. Come on. I mean, about based on the subject that we just said, right? The subject that we said based on God, you saying God, the creator, and I'm saying that God is the human being. We can do it based on whatever you want to use. You want to use the Quran, you want to use the Bible, you want to use nature, you want to use the dictionary, whatever you want to use. Let's do it right quick. I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna set up this little StreamYard link, and hit me on my well, I can't just sure, yeah, right, yeah. On my Instagram, on my IG DM, or give me your IG DM, and I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna get on right now and send you that link, because we're this on. It ain't gonna take but 3 or 4 minutes just to set this up, and we get right to it. Yeah, it works on a cell phone, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, just hit my what's your IG DM? There you go. Mahdi Ahmad. All right, got you. I'm finna do it right now. So we'll come back, man. Come back. I'm gonna come right back on this channel with the StreamYard link. All right.